Both because the doings at Shea Stadium, Miller Park, intertwined like comedy and tragedy. CC Sabathia, 3 days rest, getting the ball again. Michael Hoffpower hits a grounder to first under the legs of Prince Fielder. Take another look, and this is just this is your basic booty E on your first baseman. Right there. Got to stay down on that. Aramis Ramirez advanced over to third. So we got a bit of a threat against CC. Later in the frame, Ronnie Cedeno grounds it to short. They're going to try and turn that 6-4-3, but Cedeno beats it out. The run scores, and Chicago has a 1-zip lead. Meanwhile, back at Shea Stadium, 3:19 Eastern. Sixth inning, Oliver Perez in a jam with a runner on second. Nobody out. John Baker. That's down. Cameron Maben will come in to score, and the Marlins get on the board, first 1-0. Perez would exit the game, taking his cap to the Shea crowd. Things, everybody's okay. Very early still. Joe Smith comes on, bases loaded, one out. Very tense situation, though. He walks Josh Willingham. That brings in another fish. Florida takes the 2-0 lead. Let's go back to Miller Park. 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 local if you happen to be there. Bernie Brewer, look at him. Even the mascots are nervous. You know you got pressure there, right? Bottom six, Sabathia up with one out. Now, he's been pitching on 3 days rest, so getting a lot of swings in the cage, and look at that. That is a monster shot that is hooking foul. Sabathia just misses tying the game up. Later at the at-bat, big 52. Grounds back to the pitcher, and, well, we don't have to run that out. Save yourself. You got to throw some pitches, big fella. That's off Kevin Hart. So we're going to go back to Shea, 3:41. Just 11 minutes later, Mets trying to fight their way back home, half of the sixth. Carlos Beltran up with one on, and that is far. A two-run shot is 27th of the year, and the Mets are even. Dugout, new life, much excitement. We're tied at 2. Wonder how that's going over at Miller Park. 4:02 Eastern, back in Milwaukee. Drop the L. Mets tie game. Brewers threatening to take the lead. Bottom 7, bases loaded. Corey Hart strikes out. Next batter, Craig Counsell. Oh, look at that. It's been 26 years. Just walks as good as a hit. Counsell down to first. Ray Durham coming home. Milwaukee ties the game at 1-7. Shea Stadium, 4:15 in the afternoon. Mets call on Scott Schoenweiss. Oh, no, bullpen. Wes Helms, former crew member, the pinch hitter. Solo shot, and Florida jumps out in front, 3-2. This cannot be good. This is the last day of Shea Stadium. We can't go out this way. Luis Ayala enters from the pen. Dan Uggla exits from the ballpark, a solo homer. Back-to-back home runs off Mets relievers, and the Marlins are up 4-2. Yeah, we've seen this before. Sadly, 4:22 Eastern, back on the shores of Lake Michigan. Ryan Braun in the 8th. A man on. Behold the power of cheese. A 2-run shot by Braun is 37th. He was the hero the other night. Does it again. Miller Park erupts. Look at this place. It's crazy. Milwaukee goes up 3-1 on Braun's clutch home run. They can sniff, if not the postseason, at least a playoff game from where they're at, or a bratwurst. That could have just been a bratwurst. Might have just been a sausage out there. Could have been a knockwurst. My bad. Top 9 CC for a complete game. Derek Lee grounds into the 4-6-3 to end the game. The Brewers win at 3-1. Sabathia, another complete game. 4 hits, 1 run allowed. It was unearned. 7 Ks. So they untuck them, but they're going to have to wait before they can uncork them. They got to see what's happening over there in New York. So we got everything. We got it sealed. We're safety. We're not getting anything soggy, but they need 6 outs in New York. So we go back to Shea about 4:30. Bottom 8. Mets know what's happening in Milwaukee. They got to have something good happen. 2 outs. Jose Reyes. That's a ground rule double. So the Mets trying to rally with 2 outs. Tying run at the plate. Kevin Gregg pitched to Carlos Beltran. That's a walk. So we got guys on first and second. Bring in lefty Arthur Rose to face lefty Carlos Delgado. The go-ahead run. Is he going to be a hero? He's going to hit it far, but Josh Willingham tracks that down at the track. Mets 3 outs away from the end of the season. We go to the 9th. A playoff at best now for the Mets. It's all they can hope for at this point. David Wright leading off, pops it up, way up, second base. 1 they got. Andy Chavez would ground out to the pitcher for 2 outs. Jose Reyes, look at that. Confidence level waning. Came in easily, ball 4. There's life. Tying run will come to the plate again, and the Mets fans praying for one more game at their beloved Shea Stadium. Sunday's a church day. Ryan Church, 0 for 3 with 3 Ks, gets his bat on it, but Cameron Maben makes the catch. Marlins win 4-2. Jerry Manuel left to wonder what might have been. David Wright, another long off season. And by the way, back at Miller Park, they do not share that somber mood. 5:04 Eastern. Everybody for the last half hour packed in the clubhouse watching this thing. 40,000 people in the stands watching on the big board. And there it is. The Brewers secure their first postseason berth since 1982. That's right, champagne. Now, really, it's a beer town.
You get champagne and beer.
But you can get the High Life, which, of course, as you know, is the champagne of beer. Sabathia gets the champagne sour. He and Braun saved the season on the final day for Milwaukee, and they end the second longest playoff drought in the Bigs. Sabathia, 17 starts since the trade. The Brewers 14-3 when he goes to the Hill. The Mets finished their stay at Shea 1,859 up, 1,713 down. They needed one more win. That'd be this year or last. Bullpen gets criticized, but the offense just 5 runs this weekend against Florida. Let's start with the happy people.